The Odyssey, the original homeward-bound story. The poem starts with the gods on Mount Olympus. Athena urges Zeus to let Odysseus go home after 10 years of war and hardship. Zeus agrees, but his brother Poseidon still wants revenge for his son, the Cyclops, being blinded by Odysseus. Back at Ithaca, Odysseus' home is being crowded by the suitors wanting to marry his wife, Penelope, whom they believe is now a widow. His son Telemachus accused the suitors of destroying their home, and he leaves to find his father with Athena's help. Telemachus goes to Sparta and visits King Menelaus and Helen. He learns about his father's brilliance during the Trojan War. It is here where Menelaus talks about the Trojan horse, how it was used to sneak Odysseus and his men into Troy and open the gates for the Greeks to storm the city. Menelaus then tells Telemachus Odysseus is alive, but trapped on an island by the powerful Calypso. Zeus orders Calypso to release Odysseus. She does and builds him a raft. Battling a storm sent by Poseidon, Odysseus arrives at the court of King Alcestis. There, he disguises himself and he's welcome to dine at the royal feast. The blind bard Demodocus sings of the Trojan War. Hearing the songs causes Odysseus to weep. The king, noticing his grief, asks him to reveal himself. Odysseus finally introduces himself and begins recounting his adventures. He tells of the encounter with the Cyclops Polyphemus. Using wit instead of strength, Odysseus blinds the giant and escapes. This fatal mistake comes afterwards when he proudly reveals his true name, allowing Polyphemus to call upon Poseidon for revenge. Next, he tells of how the wind god gave Odysseus a bag full of every unfavorable wind. His curious crew opens it thinking it contains treasure, blowing them off course. Next, they encounter a giant who destroys almost the entire fleet except for Odysseus' own. Reach the island of the enchantress Circe, who transforms the entire crew into pigs. With Hermes' help, Odysseus resists her magic, and Circe finally becomes an ally. The entire crew is made whole, and Odysseus travels into the underworld, where he meets his mother, Achilles, Agamemnon, and many other famous heroes. This is one of the earliest literature journeys into the afterlife. Sailing past the Sirens, the crew has their ears plugged with beeswax, while Odysseus is tied to the mast. Later, despite warnings, the crew eats the sacred cows of Helios. Zeus destroys the ship with the rest of the crew, only Odysseus being the sole survivor. The Phaeacians safely transport Odysseus home while he sleeps, and Athena disguises him as an old beggar as he sneaks into his own kingdom. He is finally also reunited with his son Telemachus after nearly 20 years. While appearing as a beggar, Odysseus enters his own home, and he's mocked and abused by the suitors. His old hunting dog Argos recognizes him immediately before he passes away. Penelope announces she will marry the man who can string Odysseus' bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads. None of the suitors can, but Odysseus does. He throws back his disguise and takes out the suitors with the help of his son. Penelope tests him and asks if he can move their marriage bed. Odysseus protests, claiming the bed cannot be moved because it was built around a living olive tree. Realizing only her husband knows that secret, Penelope embraces him after 20 years of separation.